idea that the universe, we actually go and we change variables and we rerun it, and we might have the sense that we're rerunning the same scene, but something could be different. And usually something is different when you run the simulation. The Mandela effect is when a small group of people remember something happening differently in the past than what is the majority consensus opinion. Some people remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 80s. But of course, he didn't die in prison, right? You can look it up, right? He got out of prison, became president of South Africa, won the Nobel Peace Prize, and died in whatever it was, like more recently, like, I don't know, 2013 or something like that. And so what happened was, that was one Mandela effect, if you will. And then there started to be all these other things that people remembered that were different. And some of these were relatively minor things, like the spelling of Fruit Loops. Or,
Berenstain Bears.
The most famous one. Right? The Berenstain Bears, right?
Yeah.
Right? The movie lines, like in Star Wars, did he say, Luke, I am your father? Did Darth Vader actually say that? A bunch of people remembering, different stuff.
Right.
No big deal. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that if you're running a simulation and you go back and you change some variables and you rerun the simulation, lots of little things could be different along the way, right? And if you think of all the Mandela effects, and I like to use the Mandela effect as a way of illustrating this idea that a simulation can run multiple timelines, right? Whether you believe it actually happened is up to you, right? But if let's say you got, the Berenstain Bears, let's say you have Curious George. Does he have a tail or does he not have a tail?
Does Curious George have a tail? Yep.
He does have a tail.
He's got a tail. Wow. Sometimes he doesn't.
Or never had a tail.
Curious George never had a tail.
Right.
Yeah.
So imagine each of these is different possibilities. And you got like 50 of these effects or 100 of these effects. Now you basically have this huge graph, right? In this one, Darth Vader said this, but Curious George had a tail. In this one, he didn't. What you have is this network graph of possibilities of the past, right? You have many different possible pasts.
You have glitches in the Matrix.
Exactly. So now you're sitting on this idea that maybe these are glitches in the Matrix, that something weird has happened. But it could also be that we switched, right? You're now on this timeline, but you remember, you have like a deja vu, or you have like a weird memory.
Right. So even though you can Google, no, I was wrong about Mandela, in your mind and in your memory, you're like, no, he died in prison.
Right.
In prison. I remember it. I remember being sad. I remember the news stories.
Right.
I remember talking about it with friends.